Hello, everyone. This is me, Bobby Stevens again. Today I'm going to be working on a level 3 mission, Techie 2. I have a couple of research databases that I found pretty useful, and I hope that you do too. I'm going to show you a little tour of both of those and give a couple pros and cons as far as the usability and the user friendliness of the websites. So I hope that this information is very useful to you. The first website I'll be referencing is chroniclingamerican.location.government. This is a historic newspaper site. It was built by the Library of Congress, and this has newspaper pages from the year 1836 to 1922. That can be very, very useful. If you're specifically if you're doing research on historic document, which I know that the professor has a mission specifically for that. So when you get to the site here, you have a couple search options here. You can search by state. You can search by year. You can do an advanced search where you can search by state and put a couple other credentials in there if you're looking for something very specific. But let's just say we're looking for an article on our content path. My content path is civil rights. So what I will do is I will type civil rights into the search box and click go. Now what's going to happen is the database is going to review every single newspaper clipping it has that has the word civil rights in there. And you can see that it's highlighted it for us. Not only has it highlighted it for us, it's given us thumbnail previews of the newspaper clipping, and below that it's giving us a title to that specific newspaper. Let's look at the book Chicago, Illinois, January 7th, 1915, last edition, image 23. So we have clicked on our image and it's loaded up for us here. It's given us an article about Mrs. and Mr. Gray, wife of Pittsburgh Pirates, contender. It's an old article talking about a death penalty and civil rights, but if this was relevant to what we were looking for, we could use this as a citation, or we could use this as an embedment into taking the media and putting it into our blog post or an email or something of that nature. Because if you look up here, it has a couple of formats you can utilize. It also shows you the size of the file. If we click PDF, it's going to display the information in public document format. And if you go to the right here, depending on what browser you're using, I'm using Google Chrome. If you go to the right here, I can print this. I can save this. I can rotate it. I can zoom in. I can zoom out. I can save this data as a file, and I can implement this media into any format that I would like. If I wanted to use this in my WordPress blog, I would save it and then load it up in WordPress and use it as a tool. I could put paragraphs around it if I wanted to. If I'm writing on it, I can put it at the bottom, the top. I can wrap the text around it. I can do anything I want because this is a public document format, and Chronicling America has given us the opportunity to download this information and use it how we please for our research. Really good website. Especially, it's specifically for historic documents, and it has a boatload of information on it where you can search them all, anything you find relevant to your research, and it's really cool to have the images right here available to you. So this one is the Indian Advocate, published in 1909. This is image 35 of a total of 42, so you could continue to go through the same document but different pages. We're going to look at page 8 when it loads. And again, we can go through the whole step of clicking PDF. can save this, or I could print this. So it's very, very useful website. Actually, I just found it today, and I was going through it a little bit, and I can tell that I'll be using this. I'll be using this quite often, especially in this course. So yeah, this is chroniclingamerica.loc.gov, formed by the Library of Congress with historical newspaper clippings. Easy search. Search by state, year, or you can just simply type in your subject matter and review all the newspapers. Very friendly, very easy to use, and I like it. Another website I've been looking around in is the doag.org. It's a directory of open access journals. It's not as specifically focused on historical documents, but rather than just published high quality journals and pre-reviewed journals that have been published. You can browse them by going to the top left and clicking Browse Subjects. And here you're going to see some of the subjects, or the topics of subjects that you can review. So let's go into History America and then click View Journals/Articles. So one thing I found a little cumbersome about this website is there is a lot of journals, and there's a lot of different languages, and there's a lot of different, I mean, it's just extremely, you can be overwhelmed if you don't know how to use your little search and credential bars here. So the first thing I would do if you're using this tool is go to the left hand side and click Full Text Language, and then click English, because you definitely, if you want them to be in English, that's what you would want to click. So now we have 1 of 10 out of 3,379 journals that we could use. Let's narrow this down by typing in civil rights. Enter. So now we have some published journals pertaining to civil rights, and we have them in English. And now we can review some of the journals that have been published. Let's just select Barack Obama, John Lewis, and the Legacy of the Civil Rights Struggle. So when you first click on it, it's going to give you an abstract of what the content is. It'll give you a little paragraph of what you can expect to see in the content. It'll give the journal title and the publication. We want to see the information in it, so let's click on full text. So here it's going to take us to the publication of the journal we selected, and it's going to give us the web page, because this one is specifically a web page of the journal. We can read it, we can see the citations. If you go to the bottom of this page, we have the portable document format option as well. You can click on your portable document format. We can email this. We can save it and download it, which we would then have the ability to implement that media into our assignments. So it's really, really handy. We can change the size. We can embed it. It gives us the URL for embedding. So we can just put that right into our document. If you're running HTML, you can use HTML embed. So it's really, really, really useful. Closing out should take us right back to our journal. Hitting the back button will give us back to the opportunity to research by clicking Browse Subjects and going through it all over again. The one thing I don't like about this website is that when a journal is not, when the web page is not displayed on this website, it takes you away from this website, and you have to do a little clicking to get back to where you were. It doesn't really save your preferences as far as what you want to do your research on. But overall, there's a lot of good work in this, and as you can tell, there's 2.1 million articles on this website. So I'm sure there's something here that you could use, but it's going to be really helpful for me. That, along with the Chronicling America website with the historical newspapers, it's definitely two valuable resources that I think you're going to be using. Those databases are free to access. They're open access. They don't require you to log in or have a membership, so that's really good. Um, One is specifically for historical documents, newspaper clippings, and one has uh, a broader content of information for HTML and PDF downloads. But those are my databases. If anyone needs help, I know there's a couple other techies in the class that could help you manipulating some of your media or doing some simple things that you could use some of your media for your blog post or your videos. Please feel free to shoot me an email. I'll be happy to help anyone that would like some assistance. But yeah, if you have some time and you're doing some research, check out doag.org and chroniclingamerica.loc.gov. I'm confident you'll find something extremely useful in those databases.